Haha, here you go. Happy Tuesday. What? Yeah, happy Tuesday. All
Yeah.
mixed up right now.
Huh?
Hey, how do you feel on this beautiful back to school Tuesday?
I feel like I need a glass of wine. I feel like a lot
Oh,
of people to
hey, come
relax.
on, let's not lie to our people. We've been having a glass of wine since noon, okay?
Not quite. We kept the kids.
Hey, happy Carl's Wine Club members, Canadian wine lovers, happy Tuesday. We're glad to have you here because we are tasting something pretty delicious. What do you think?
This bad.
I I think that is pretty darn good.
Have you tried it?
I did. I had a sip. I was too excited. Usually, I never do. Usually, I always try to wait. Like I get my first sip like 15 minutes in, but I had a sip before the show because I was too excited. This is not every day that we taste a GSM from Canada. They are so rare. You know, like a couple weeks ago, we did the Malbec from Prince Edward County. This is like, it was so exciting. I I'm a sucker for these kind of unique kind of wine coming from a region where you never see it. I always want to see. It's one thing to do something unusual. It's one thing to do something unique, but you need to do it well, right? It's easy to do something just to be different, but you need to do it well. This is well done. This is good. This is round. This is fresh. This is creamy. So we have today this week. It's free shipping week. Yes, it is free shipping. Red Rooster week. We are featuring these classic wines from Naramata Bench. One of a good, nice, like old player from the bench, and yeah, they are completely refreshing their brand at the moment, and I'm so glad that we're featuring them at that stage of their progression, at that stage of the transition, because what we have here with Red Rooster, it's not the old cheesy Red Rooster. And I don't want to offend people. Karen Gillis, the former winemaker, now she has a really big job with as a head viticulturist for Peller Estate, BC. So she oversees all of the vineyard holding in British Columbia. That's mean the grapes, the vines for Black Hills, for Tenorn, for Red Rooster, and so everything Peller in Western Canada, everything in the vineyard, Karen, the former winemaker, oversees the whole thing. So now Alan Deckard took over the winemaking process. So, and it's not a knock on Karen Gillis. She's a great winemaker. But now the whole team, head office at Better, have decided to refresh Red Rooster's image. And they're also, I would say, updating a little bit their winemaking style. And I think it's so modern, so up to date. And I'm glad that also we have the library. So we'll have like 3 reserve wine from the 2016 vintage. So yeah, it gives us like such a different perspective from Red Rooster and the new fresh vintage from their entry level brand. So, and the biggest surprise last week was when head office gave us the okay to go with the free shipping across the country. We're like, yeah, because we know that our member absolutely love that. So yeah, so today I'm going to chat about the whole lineup from Red Rooster on this side of the behind me, and on this side, I do have a brand new player on the market, a brand new producer. They started 14 months ago. Really, really young, family-owned winery. But once in a while, Mira and I, we have gave ourselves a mission as like something like we that's something we really wanted to do from the beginning. It's to help new winery owners to get their product to market. And I think Jane and Darren are such the perfect couple, the perfect winery to do it, because I love their wine first and foremost. You know me. Mira's a lot about the story. I'm all about the juice. The juice is fucking killer. Excuse my language. If Daryl listen to me right now, Daryl, AK from Ontario, you'll love that one. Yes, fucking killer. I love it. Their wines are great. So that's what we're going to do next week. So after we talk about Red Rooster, we're going to talk a little bit about Priest Creek Family Estate. So a small little estate, 14 months old, out of East Kelowna. So I can't wait to chat about that. Mira, if you want to chat Red Rooster a little bit, tell me what you have in your glass. Chat with the members. I forgot to plug in the second device for Instagram. I need a charger, so I'm going to get a charger. Plug that in here so I don't lose Instagram in the meantime. Okay.
Not a problem, my dear.
Mira Boucher, you're on the clock.
Awesome. So what we're doing tonight, surprise, Carl Boucher, I'm sending him away to Niagara tomorrow, and it's Wine Wednesday. So he's actually going to be like up in the air flying during Wine Wednesday. So that's why we thought we'll do Wine Tuesday, right? It can be Wine Tuesday, Wine Wednesday, Wine Thursday, whatever we want, right? Hey, Jennifer, excited to learn more about Golden Egg. Thank you. Cheers. Yeah, so that's what we got in the glass tonight. The Red Rooster Golden Egg. It's a Grenache-Syrah-Mourvedre blend. GSM, which I had no idea what that stood for. But there you go, because it's so rare that out of the, I don't know, 1,000 wines that Carl and I have tasted in the last year and a bit, year and a half, this is, I think, the first GSM blend we've ever had from Canada. He might have tasted a couple others. I don't know, but certainly for me. So super excited. I don't know a whole ton about this, so stay tuned with us. Carl will share more about his adventures from his past lives with international wine and where GSM fits into things. I guess the other fun thing is that next time we'll be live, probably will be Carl live from some kind of winery out in Niagara, because that's where he's flying to tomorrow. So I'm super excited about that. I just said, you know what? COVID is going like this all the time. We never know where we'll be in a month. And right now you can go. So I said, just go for a few days. Go for a few days to Niagara and check out some wineries there so we can discover some more amazing things from Ontario together. So, oh, Carl's back.
Learn a bunch of new things from Ontario, because I'm going to tour with our okay. I'm going to tour. I have to give credit to our friends at Bellaterra, because Marcel, you guys saw Marcel many times live with us, that Marcel booked a full day of touring on Thursday in Niagara on the Lake, and also on Friday on the Beamsville bench. So I'm going to be on the bench on Friday. But Thursday night, when we come back, I'm starting at Bellaterra, but not for a tasting, for a geology tour. So him, Marcel, Lou, the owner, Fred, the winemaker, are going to take me in the Bellaterra vineyard and give me a little geology course from the region, so to understand a little bit more the composition of the soil, what makes this area of that very specific wine region the strength, and also why are we producing such great type of grapes. So anyhow, I'm really looking forward to that. So I'm flying out tomorrow, 9 o'clock on Thursday. We're going to start at Bellaterra, but Marcel booked a bunch of tasting Niagara on the Lake all day Thursday. When we come back at Bellaterra, so 5 o'clock Thursday night at Bellaterra, we'll be sitting by the pond doing a show with Mira sitting here in Kelowna, and the two bozos, the two clowns, coming back from a day of tasting. We're going to be sitting by the pond at Bellaterra, reviewing our day, telling you guys what was the highlight of the day, what we like, who we met, which wine we tasted. So that's going to be a little bit of our experience. So Thursday night, connect, tune in. It's going to be on YouTube as well. And if you're listening, you haven't had the chance yet to go on YouTube, like our and subscribe to our channel. We want to take YouTube by storm. We want to be live on YouTube. We want to increase our subscribers on YouTube, so we're becoming a YouTube machine. Carl's Wine Club, Mira Boucher, Carl Boucher are taking over YouTube. Now, honestly, we think that we can take our journey in helping wineries to get more traffic by the power of YouTube. So that's also a medium that we're going to experience more and more in the future. So also maybe like taking you guys into our journey through YouTube, smaller clip, longer version. So it's a lot of things that we want to do. So yeah, so Thursday, Friday, intense tasting, sorry, in Niagara. Also Saturday, a little bit more relaxed. But Friday night, there's the wine club members dinner at Bellaterra. That I'll going to be a special guest sitting there, meeting the wine club member at Bellaterra. But also one other thing, they're going to release a very special wine, and I want to show you something here. This is this wine. Well, you say like it's not really special. It's a darn bottle with no label. But the label should be ready. It's Carl's Wine Club, proprietary blend, club member only, blend from the Bellaterra Vineyard. So we're going to release that on Friday night. So we are really, really excited and thrilled about that. So you might see me pop up live from the winery, putting a little label on some of the first bottles, and that would be available through Carl's Wine Club a little later in the fall. But we are pretty. So that's the sample that Marcel sent me. I put a little sticker here, but we will have a beautiful label going on to that. Cannot wait. And we will very shortly pick a winner once a week here to receive a bottle of that sample. I want to have Carl's Wine Club VIP members, or even if you're not a VIP, I want your opinion. What do you think? I want your tasting notes of our wine before I release. So I think, Mira, we should pick a winner every week, every time we go live. So the first, maybe for 6 weeks, pick one winner so we can ship each and every one of them a bottle, and they can write their own tasting notes.
I love that you just came up with that idea, Carl, and you just said it. I'm going to pull a page from your book sometimes, and when I have good ideas, I'm just going to announce them. I love it. It's great. No, it's fabulous.
You know how much like you
illegal to give away wine, so we're not going to be giving it away. This is going to be some sort of you're allowed to do like market research and stuff, right? So
absolutely. If there's any of a Ontario official or BC official or anyone, please call me. Let me know. We'll have a conversation. But I'm not giving away wine here. This is market research. This is.
I don't know.
Yeah, so
we'll figure it out what we need to say about that. But
you know what? I just put that out of my ass because I have no idea, and I just came out and I just had that idea. You know how bonkers you drive me when you come up with ideas and you don't tell me, and I'm like, you should have told me before, and I just did it. Like the bam.
See, I'm rubbing off on you. It's perfect. So fantastic. So
yeah. So hey,
this golden egg. Because first of all, I had to say we tasted like 1,000 Canadian wines. I don't think I've ever tasted a GSM.
A GSM? No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. There's a few Mourvedre, like a couple. I think Road 13 does a Mourvedre. I know for a fact that Mooncursor do them. I'm not even sure. But a GSM that way, I don't think that any of the Canadian wineries that I know for sure, I've never heard about it. I knew that Red Rooster makes one for now. Like I'm not sure. I would say probably almost 10 years. It's been the flagship of Red Rooster. I tasted, I think, the 2012 vintage a while back. I was super, super impressed. I loved it. So that's what we're going to talk about to start. We're going to start talking also about the refresh style of a Red Rooster that I really, really, really like, by the way. I think it's super slick. And I am definitely not offended to lose the Rooster. Now, nothing against the Rooster, but I am definitely not offended to see him go. Definitely not. So I'm seeing more modern thinking here. I see some open-mindedness here in the team at the Red Rooster, and it shows in the new wine, the new Viognier, the new Gewürztraminer, the Sauv Blanc, and that new 2019 here, the 2019 Cab Merlot, absolutely kick ass for the price. I'm telling you, like this for $19. Okay, and now $19. Don't jump at me. If you look on the website, it's $21.50 or something like that. Yes, it's in $19 free tax. So including tax and the whole shebang, it comes up to $21. This is a killer everyday drinking wine, a party wine, a barbecue wine. Like, it's hard to find better value proposition. So I appreciated the 18 vintage. The 19 is killer. So
lots of great things coming out with 1920 vintages from Red Rooster.
Oh, absolutely. So yeah, so here's the golden
labels. Here's the two different labels, I think, right? That's the Rooster. Yeah. Rooster's gone now, and they've got, yeah, sweet labels that on the back they show, you know, all the details you want to know about a wine. It's so ironic because we know what people are looking for, and we always try to put that info in the Carl's Wine Club pages. But very often some wineries don't even have some of the info we ask for. So here it is, like, all there. You know, what kind of treatment did it get? What's the blend? Sometimes you want to know production numbers or RS. It's all on there. So really nice label. Love it. Ah, there you go. Taking a big sip. So I guess what I want to know too, after you tell us your initial impressions, is more about GSM, like where it comes from, why.
So there's a few things about the origin of that, and there's, well, first and foremost, the big one, and that's that style. This is French. It's French style on the nose, first and foremost. It's French style on the palate. Stylistically, because there's another region who makes lots of GSM, and it's the South of Australia. Barossa Valley, McLaren Vale became also famous for their GSM. Or it's the blend of the Grenache-Syrah and Mourvedre. So, or Mourvedre, if you put a little bit of an English twist in the way to say it, but because I was born and raised French, I say Mourvedre. So the south of France, in the Rhone Valley, that's where the GSM was born. A lighter style from the Côte-du-Rhône village, the Gigondas. Also, which other appellation? The Châteauneuf-du-Pape is the most serious version of GSM in the world, where some of outstanding wines, very like super cellaring potential. So the Châteauneuf-du-Pape, very, very famous. but there is like a dozen, maybe not a dozen, let's say at least half a dozen appellation who are specialized in GSM in the south of the Rhone Valley, Vaqueiras, Gigondas, also Côte-du-Rhône Village, also what else? There anyway. I'm studying too much Canadian wine in the last 2 years, and I'm losing my international map. But GSM is the bread and butter there. South Australia took a page of the French book, just like with the Syrah and the Shiraz, that it brought Syrah from the Northern Rhone all the way to South Australia, and it turns into their big, juicy Shiraz. But stylistically, there's a lot of difference. The Australian style is bigger, bolder, juicier. When we talk about more about the French style, well, the French style is a little bit more meaty, like raw meat, like bacon, like blueberries, lots of herbaceousness. And to me, it strikes me the herbs, like the herbaceous component, mostly in the mid palate. It's absolutely like really, really, like there's dry basil, there's sage, lots of sage. There's like basil, thyme, all of these herbs mixed together in the mid palate, also on the nose. Fruit wise, what I get the blueberry jam, I get that meaty component, but also get a little bit of smokiness. This is not a full body wine. This is not a big, grippy wine. This is smooth, medium body, really soft, really creamy. The texture of this wine is absolutely spectacular. Like my 6-year-old would say, spectacular. And it is very, very spectacular. You know, I love the texture to me. And there's you can feel the oak as well, in a sense, with the sweet fruit in the front. The oak it's not aggressive, but it's really present at the beginning, more in the first medium part of it. So go ahead.
Tell us a little bit about the Viognier, because Martin has a great question about that. 1% Viognier, a white grape in a red wine. So what's that all about?
Co-fermented, right? So this is another page of the French book. If you go in the northern of the Rhone Valley, Hermitage, Côte-Rôtie especially, they like to co-ferment a little bit of Viognier into the Syrah. So what do I mean by co-fermenting? Usually, most of the time, winery will, when they ferment their grape, they ferment all of the grape individually. When the grape juice have turned into wine, they blend it together to make their wine, to make their final blend. So if you have, let's say, a Cab Merlot blend, Cab is fermented on its own, Merlot is fermented on its own, and at the end, when juice is turned into wine and has age, now after that they blend it together for further aging after. So that's how it works. But with Syrah, there's that co-fermentation with Viognier that lots of winemaker likes to experience, and Syrah and Viognier goes very well together. The funny part of it, by putting a little bit of white wine into a red wine, it's increased the color into the red wine. So it's because of the chemical reaction between some component of the skins of the grapes just help to get a little bit more color and also lift the aromatic of the Syrah. So that's where the 1% Viognier comes in the co-fermentation with the Viognier with the Syrah.
Yeah, it's funny because the first time I ever tried that was at Black Market here in Caledon, BC, where they do a Syrah, I think 2% Viognier. And recently we had a Mary Nissen wine from Ontario that had, what was it?
I just got attacked by a deer.
Uh-oh. A moose. I thought he was a moose.
Oh, a moose. A moose.
Moose.
What do you think? What do you think here? How's that taste?
I can't taste when I smell.
No, no. How's that smell? Do you get some bacon smell in there?
No, it smells.
Smells like what?
Smells bad.
It smells bad. Okay, boy, you're fired. Okay, let me finish. I'll be back with you in a few minutes, okay? Thank you.
Okay, but
The both phones are here. We're using them. Try to hijack the work. Okay, I need a few more minutes. So yeah, so that's the co-fermentation and what we had, but what you tried, and I thought it was extremely interesting from Marinescence based. But by the way, I'm going to be there on Thursday, talking to the winemaker, and I want to know more how that crazy idea came about. But the result is fantastic. So you don't have a whole lot of Syrah in Ontario, and definitely not a lot in Niagara on the lake. So what they did at Marinescence, they take a page of that co-fermentation, but they changed both grapes. They did Cabernet Franc, co-fermented with Gewürztraminer, co-fermented with Cabernet Franc. The result was absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, we tasted that with a group of members a couple weeks ago. Holy cow, was it special? Yeah, super cool. Yeah, Cab Franc or Wiener.
Yeah, super cool. So what happened with these grapes, like the Viognier and the Gewürz, they help to lift the aromatic of the main grape. And in this case here, we see, like, I think it's all up to 14% of Gewürz in that Cab Franc. So, but here, just a tad, just a little 1%. So yeah, super cool wine. So that's part of that blend. Mostly Mourvedre, though. I did not research the whole history of Red Rooster, what's year in and year out, but every year it's different when we talk about the percentage of each of the grape in that blend. So for 2017, Mourvedre is the dominant grape, and you really see that in Canada, a dominant Mourvedre wine with the good, but there's a good proportion of Grenache as well. It's a grape that doesn't grow a lot now in the country, but I can tell you there's more and more Grenache being planted in the Similkameen Valley right now. Our good friend Daniel Balterin at Seven Direction, where Daniel is the rosé master, the rosé guru in Canada, always had an eye on what's going on with Grenache because of the rosé from Provence, and he just planted 2 or 3 acres in the Similkameen of the Grenache. And I know for a fact there's a few others who are planting Grenache. Now with the global warming and also the type of terroir that the Similkameen has, and also a few spots down in Oliver and Osoyoos, there's a few patches of Grenache, not a whole lot. So in here, you got Mourvedre, Grenache, and Syrah with a 1% Viognier into the Syrah. That's our blend for the Golden Egg. There's also a good touch of oak in there. I would not be surprised if there's something like at least 18 months sitting on oak, because I can really feel the oak. It's creamy, it's vanilla, and darn that wine is delicious, eh?
Yeah, it's super, kind of reminds me of like pattern or like something kind of evolving. It's pretty neat. It's more sort of delicate in some way, or
yeah, delicate is a good word, but I won't go as far as delicate. I would say I will go instead of delicate, I will probably more use the term complexity. Also feminine. Instead of that big bold, it's not a bold wine. It's not a big, massive, full body. That's a wine with intricacy. This is a word that I can
That's a
like.
good because it has structure. Like it kind
Oh
of
yeah, it does have structures.
like lace or something, you know? Like it has
Yeah, and
okay.
things are like really like finesse. There you go. You got it, Daryl. There you go. This guy just shows up. He shows up like 20 minutes late. Okay. And now the first thing you said, bam, he absolutely nails it. Jesus Christ, that I love that guy. Love it, Daryl. That's absolutely what I was looking for. Finesse. That's what it is. Bang on. Pinpoint. You got it right. Hey, Daryl, you should tell me also. I think that Mira did not really follow up about what you're up to this weekend, if we're meeting or not. But anyway,
It's also
oh,
Derek.
hey?
Derek, we need to follow up with Derek too. He's
Derek, yes.
out on Saturday, so we'll see.
I have Mike Laplante. Mike is good. Mike, the average wine enthusiast, should be meeting with me middle of the afternoon at Bellaterra on Saturday afternoon. So, and I know that Karen and Hurst at Westcott wants to see me on Saturday or maybe Friday late. I think it's Friday, 3 o'clock that I'm going to go see Carolyn to taste a few new vintage at Westcott Vineyard. But let's get back to Red Rooster here. Finesse, elegance. That's also what I wanted to see. It's elegance, it's finesse, it's intricacy. There's so many different twists and turns going on, going on in that wine. That there's herbs. There's also a little bit of the cocoa as well. Yeah, the cocoa is definitely right there. And the herbs, I love it. In terms of fruit, it's blueberry, raspberry. Nothing too much in dark fruit. I don't know what you think, Mira. It's not like cassis. It's not like blackcurrant. To me, it's more on raspberry, strawberries, blueberry is very dominant. But there's that meaty component, the smoked meat, and the herbs, who gets me straight down to France in that style of wine. So yeah, I give it a good, definitely a 92 points. For me, a no-brainer, 92. That's where, like I always describe, that's where you start climbing the ladder towards stardom, right? You start climbing the ladder towards the rock star wine, 93 to 95, where you're like, okay, that's something special. So 4 years old as we speak, I can see another good improvement for the next 2 to 3 years, easily until 2025. After that, I'm not saying that it's going to die. But after that, I would say that probably plateaued from between 2023 to 2025. That's where I see the plateau of that wine. Yannick says it sounds delicious. Yes, absolutely. And also, it's different. That's the part that I really like. Often you have different wines, but they're not necessarily really good. They're different. That's what I was saying this afternoon. But that's one thing to do something different. It's one thing to do something unique. Everyone can do something very different and do it being completely off whack. It's easy to do that. I'm just gonna take like the weirdest shit in my head, will make it happen and say, well, yeah, it's maybe not good, but it's different. This is good and this is different. So a little bit like the Malbec from Prince Edward County, when we were talking with Carlo, that's the kind of same concept in that thing that it's unique. They're the only one to do it, but they do it well. So in terms of that GSM, yeah, I'm all in. I love that. It's a 92. I think it's Decanter World. Give it a 92 points. Now let's get to the price. $63. It's a pricey wine. It's not cheap. So let's get to if we make reference to international wine, at $63, you start talking about a good Chateauneuf du Pape. But this wine, to me, deliver as much as a good Chateauneuf du Pape. I have no problem. I'm not saying that it's better. but I'm not saying that it's worse though. And there's that striking acidity from what we made, like the classic Canadian Okanagan acidity.
Yeah.
It's part of it. It gives it its personality, that's herbaceousness, but also that stylistically, that French style. So I'm happy. I love it. And I'm going with
more. So this is like a multiple glass wine for sure on the Mira scale.
love it. I love it.
I have to tell you guys something. I am badly craving duck right now.
Well, that's one of my pairing that I put in the notes with that. This with duck. Like I want a cassoulet. I want a cassoulet with that.
A duck cassoulet with those big beans or duck confit.
I know. I know.
That's spectacular.
I know. Really, really good. So that's for Red Rooster. That's for the wine that we're having here right now. Let's clear a quick rapid fire review. We have the Sauvignon Blanc. Sauvignon Blanc, I think it's an 89 plus wine that I rated. I should have rated higher because I had it this week with which dish? Oh, I had it with the corn. We had some absolutely crazy good corn from Chilliwack, BC. And with that Sauv Blanc, it was fucking good.
Because we had some fresh herbs and like whipped butter that was like melted on the. Oh, that was good.
Yeah, so that's the Sauvignon Blanc. Not super classic Sauv Blanc in the sense of great, like extreme grapefruit. That is very well balanced. 100% stainless steel though, nothing Fumé Blanc in there. Bright, fresh. That was really good. Very, very well made. A little bit of melon, a little bit of apple in there as well. Yellow apple was very well done. The Viognier, we tasted side by side Viognier from the 19 vintage and the 20 vintage. 20 vintage is richer, a little bit of residual, but very, very, very little, but doesn't come up as sweet at all. It comes up as structured. There's a bright acidity. I got some apricot in there. I got also, if I remember correctly, there was some green apple also in that Viognier. Some spice. There was like jasmine and ginger coming out at the end. So very well balanced Viognier. Great with food. I was really, really pleased, and it's a fun Viognier. I like it compared to the 19. Better structure, well done. Also, the Gewürztraminer. The Gewürz now, they took a different turn. It's not a dry Gewürz anymore. We went with 15 grams of residual sugar. But let's talk about what I have with that. It was a teriyaki. Was it a teriyaki or? There you go. I just got a list of the West Coast. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, Daryl. Westcott fan club right here. Awesome.
He's a big fan of Westcott. Big fan. And I remember how the relationship started between Daryl and Westcott. There was a little bit of a roller coaster regarding a wrong vintage that he got. He took his car, he drove out there to make a vintage switch, and from there he became one of the biggest fan of Westcott.
That's awesome.
That's the way it should be. That's the way it is. So anyway, that Gewürztraminer, I had it with the spicy dish. What was it? Anyway, I can't remember.
The stir fry we had, or
no. Stir fry was last night. Anyhow, long story short, sweeter notes, lots of apricot, dry apricot, lychee, rose water, all of the classic notes that you got from Gewürztraminer. A little bit more Alsatian as well, like French style, but bright acidity. And if you don't taste it, if you don't drink it too cold, more as a room temperature, The complexity is absolutely crazy. Oh man, I think like I had like 10 change of profile and texture and direction into that. To me, I didn't really enjoy it too much. Extremely cold because it kind of froze too many of the hidden flavors, hidden aromas, but taste it room temperature. It was an absolute amazing wine. So room temperature, I gave it a 92. Cold, it was more as a 90, 89. So what I brought everything together, I gave it a 90 plus because I can definitely see a lots of potential there. So I love that Gewurz. I'm a big fan, and I'm not necessarily a big fan of really of sweet wine. So if you're not a fan of big sweet wine, keep it room temperature, cellar temperature, absolutely perfect. Moving into the red, we have the fresh, brand new, not even on the shelf yet. It's the 2019 Cab Merlot. Like I said, 19 bucks pre-tax, $21. That little party wine is absolutely bang on. I like it. There's plum, there's graphite, but there's also a good raspberry, a little bit of black currant, but it is like not overly complex, but it gives you a good run for your money. That is for sure. When you're done that bottle, you're like, huh, that was good. For what I paid, give me more. So it's one of the wine that I said you buy by the 6-pack only of this one because it's worth it. And it's a good pizza wine. It's a good barbecue wine. It's a good wine that you bring, that you can open on a Tuesday night. And yeah, it gets with meat, with cheeseburger, with pizza, with lasagna. I absolutely love that the options with that. Here, 50% stainless steel, 50% oak. So there's a good balance, good structure, classic Okanagan acidity, fruits from the bench, fruits from the Golden Mile, fruit from Osoyoos. So it's a good proposition. 2 wines from the 2016 vintage, 2 reserve Syrah and reserve Merlot. I'm usually sold on Syrah. You guys know me, right? Here with the Red Rooster, I give the edge on the Merlot. The Merlot, it's not that the Syrah was bad. Don't make me wrong. I completely love the Syrah. I give it a 91 points. The Merlot was really, really, really good. I love the roundness of the Merlot. These are 16. I think the Syrah is in its absolute prime now. The Merlot has a little bit more to come as well. A little bit more potential on that Merlot bottling from the 2016 vintage. So, yeah, 2 good reserve wine. These are serious. These are $35 wine. But bang on. I like the seriousness of that program. Sometimes we remember Red Rooster for their entry-level wine, their $20 wine. These reserved, the Rare Bird series, are serious wine, and I love the Merlot. Before going on to the Merlot, after the Merlot, it's the Malbec, 2017 Malbec, the Rare Bird series. I think it's one of the top Malbec in Canada. You guys heard me a few times about Malbec. The one that we tasted, my favorite will probably still be the Mark Simpson with the Siren's Call Malbec as a little edge on the Red Rooster. Red Rooster, they have 2.5 acre behind the winery, estate grown Malbec, a little bit of Argentinian style, but not too jammy, or not jammy at all. Bright acidity through and through. Raspberry, plum, cassis. Great mid palate. A little bit of smokiness. There's some tobacco in the middle. So really, I'm sorry, really, really well made. I love the long finish. I had it with the spicy stir fry, well, spicy, with teriyaki stir fry, and it shows wonderfully. There's some bright flavors. There's also a little some herbaceousness as well. So good classic Okanagan, not completely Argentinian, but some a little bit of reminiscence of Argentina. Sorry. So and so I give it a 92 point. So this Rare Bird series, these are solid wine. If you look, sorry, jeez, I need something to drink. If we look around to other wine critics around the country, Wine Align with John thank you. Here you go. John Zabo, Golden Egg, or also outside of Wine Align, there's Malia Spooner. They all give these wine, or decanter. They all give these wines between 90 and 92 points as well. That's exactly where I stand. Sometimes I don't always agree with their rating. Here, I'm pretty much in the exact same place here. I know there's one that Zabo went down to 80 to 89 points. I think it's with the Syrah. If I'm not calling it a little reductive, I didn't find it at all on that one. Maybe his bottle was different than what I had. It was 2 years ago when he tasted it. So some difference here, but in general, between the 90 and the 92, that's what I got. So my point into that, the Rare Bird series, pretty bang on. These ones are at $35, $40. More on the premium, that's for sure, but worth the premium dollar. We are tasting tonight the Golden Egg, Red Rooster Golden Egg, the GSM, the very unique wine from the south of the Okanagan. There's no other GSM that I know of, and this one is an absolute beauty. French style GSM, Grenache-Syrah-Mourvedre, 2017 vintage, dominant Mourvedre. So super wine based on finesse, delicate, intricacy. So there's a lot of complexity, a lot of change of pace, great, amazing texture. So I love that wine. So what's great, what's fun with this week also, free shipping. $0 for shipping anywhere. So this is a
a big
yeah.
deal, especially the last couple of years. Okanagan Vineyards and Niagara, they've not been easy. So this is a very generous thing, and I think it's perfect if you're looking to restock a little bit for the fall. You know, cozy into that more red wine.
And also because like if you want to stock up on the thing like the 19 Cab Merlot, where it's a good everyday drinking wine, but there's some serious stuff in there as well. So I like how versatile that pack is, and being part of that rebranding, like right in the middle, like right at the beginning with them, it's pretty cool. So I'm loving our partnership with Red Rooster, and we did a little video in the vineyard talking about the Malbec this week, and we'll post that, I think, on our social media coming up tomorrow. Maybe when I'm at the airport, just before I go, I'll do that. So just before we go, I want to talk about Priest Creek.
But first, I want to say, we were saying, what did we have with that Sauv Blanc? It was something spicy. I don't know. Yours was spicy because we had some really nice steaks, and you put some spicy sauce on the steaks, not mine. Yeah, the Sauv Blanc was that fresh corn we were talking about. And then right after, we had these amazing steaks with roasted cauliflower.
Yes, that's true.
Wine, which I loved.
Yeah. So we had the steaks with Priest Creek. So let's talk about Priest Creek Priest Creek, Priest Creek, Priest Creek briefly because couple from Calgary. After Darren sold his business in Calgary, he had a dream to own a winery like a lot of people, but this guy made it happen. He moved to Kelowna, found a beautiful spot in East Kelowna, nearby Spearhead Winery, nearby let's say Summerhill a little bit. Anyhow, now he met with Jason Park. Jason Parks, owner of Black Swift, Crown and Thief, The Hatch, and all of these brands. Jason took Darren under his wing, taught him winemaking, and became his consultant to help him to build his wine brand. Now it started 4 years ago. 14 months ago, Darren and James went up, started to fly on their own, and Priest Creek Family Estate Winery opened up. And Mira and I wants to be part of that success because we just think it's so cool to have. We have the privilege, and I think we have to once in a while being involved with a new project to help them to get there. Right? How do you feel about that, Mira? I think we strongly feel the same way.
Well, what I love about it is they're coming out of the gate like fast and strong. You know, they're not like coming out with their first wine and you're like, oh, okay, that's interesting. Like we've seen with some really well-funded wineries that there's a big splash happening around them. But the first few vintages, they're kind of like, oh, okay, give them a few more years. Let's see what happens, right? But these guys, I mean, I don't know how he pulled it off, but Darren, his first wines are just spectacular.
Well, and guess what, Mira? I'll stop you there. For 4 years now, he's with Jason Parks and the winemaking team, learning how to do it. And it's not also like if he's starting from scratch with baby vines. His baby vines are in the vineyard. The Pinot's growing. He's making rosé with it. But he's purchasing grapes from the south under the connections of Jason Parks. The Syrah here, that's what we had last night. Tell people how good was that Syrah.
So good. Look at this, what we had it with. This
Okay.
sirloin. Oh my God.
So this Syrah here, okay, is from Hans Vineyard. So Hans Vineyard, if you know a little bit about the big dogs of the Okanagan, Hans Vineyard is one of the most sought after Syrah grapes in the whole province. If you know a little bit about Black Swift is the crown jewel of the Hatch and Jason Park's portfolio. One of their best wine is their Syrah Hans Vineyard. And this is, the fruits are from the exact same place. So, because Darren got the connection of the good source, of the good grapes, through Jason, that's how he can make some absolute bomb from the start. But before we have a few special wines there, and also his first 2016 that he put in barrel 3 years ago, the Cavalis. It's a really, really, really cool wine. What I had today for lunch, that Pinot Gris has what a personality in that Pinot Gris, right? So that convinced me that we're doing the right thing here, because that tint, it's a little bit, it's almost a rosé. There was just a little bit of skin contact. And after I didn't get the technical sheet yet, so I will guess probably 10, 12 hours of skin contact. That little nice, beautiful little rosé came out, and it went in stainless steel, but I loved. And I had the leftover spicy teriyaki with that. And again, I had it cellar temperature, not cold. And darn that it was good. So
yeah.
So yeah, that's where we're at.
That's awesome. Guess what? you got to get to bed because you have a long flight ahead of you.
I do, but you know what? Because it was it's back to school today, right? We have, for people who know us, you guys know that we have 3 boys. Well, we had a kindergartner today, right? So our little one, Daryl, guess what? Deadpool is now in kindergarten. So, and his big brother, the Moose, grade 2, and we had a 9th grader. So these guys are completely wiped. So, and the head of school. The head of school made me promise when I picked them up this afternoon, make me promise to them to take them for an ice cream tonight. So.
Okay, let me get you a picture of Deadpool because this is pretty precious. First day of school.
First day of school. Deadpool is a kindergartner. It's pretty cool. And his bigger brothers took care of him this morning. It was pretty cool. Loved it. We loved watching that. I think we got a little bit emotional, but it was awesome.
Last kid in school, I mean, we didn't know what to do with ourselves for the first couple of hours. We went to a winery and just kind of looked at the scenery. Half an hour with no interruptions. There's Deadpool. First day of kindergarten. There he is. Yep. Pretty amazing. He had no problem. Considering that, you know, all our other kids went to preschool, but Deadpool was a COVID, you know, child and stayed home this whole last year. So
yeah.
He adjusted really well, I think. Yeah.
So yeah, we're gonna go get some dinner for these 3 kids. Take them for an ice cream. So there you go. That's the Moose. That's a 2nd grader. There you go.
Take care of his little bro. You did a great job.
There you go. So this is Red Rooster Week. Free shipping. Okay. Free shipping across the country. You guys get to it. That Golden Egg is pretty darn good. The Reserve Malbec, one of the top Malbec in the country. New branding, new winemaking, and free shipping. Get to it until the end of the week. Also, stay tuned because Thursday I'm going to be live from Niagara. It's going to be 5 p.m. Eastern time. So Mira is going to be here in Kelowna with me and Marcel. We're going to recap the first day of touring. If you have access to YouTube, get to YouTube on our YouTube channel. Follow us on YouTube. We want to take YouTube by storm. So, to all of you, thanks for tuning in again tonight. Red Rooster Week, Girls Wine Club members, Canadian wine lovers, all of you guys across the country, thanks for sharing your wine passion with us. Mira Boucher, you're an absolute rock star.
You too, Carl Boucher. Have an amazing night, guys. Cheers.
Cheers.